So we're going to have a little look at hardwood cuttings, and there's a lot of different plants that you can do hardwood cuttings of, and essentially what you're looking for is something about pencil thickness and about the length of the pair of secateurs, about 6 inches, 150 mil. You know, it'll vary because of the nodal length, and so we're just going to have a quick walk around, identify a few plants that you can take hardwood cuttings. So just looking at this, say for example buddleia, not that we're going to prune the buddleia back hard, but you're looking for something where it might have been pruned before, like this shoot here, and I would sort of take it low as if you're going to almost prune it in the spring, and something like that, you can see it's got the pencil thickness kind of cuttings. And if I put my secateurs there, if I cut below a node and above a node, remove the bottom leaves, and we're going to bury it by about 2/3, that's going to make a good cutting. So we're going to remove that, those leaves. We'll leave those on, but they'll drop off fairly quickly. That will give me a cutting. Kind of, what have we got here? What kind of plant is this? Anybody know it?
No. It's not. No, I'm not. So I'm not. No, it's not what I was thinking. No, it's not. Definitely not what I was thinking.
What do you think? What are you thinking? It's all right.
I was thinking. Is it cornus?
It's not a cornus.
No,
Good try.
Yeah.
So this is a Weigelia. Florida variegata. And so what we're going to do with this one, again, I'm going to look for something that's, there's some nice shoots here coming from the base. And so again, I need to just sort of get in there, or get in a bit lower, cut it low. And that again, you can see would be a good, I'd get one there, I might get another, I might get a third. Then it's starting after there, it's getting thin, and the trouble with it's thin, it hasn't got enough food to survive, and they tend to rot then. Of course, a classic one is the dogwood cornus. This is Cornus alba sibirica, but of course we got the lovely orangey ones like Winter Flame, or we could do Stolonifera flavramea, the green one, or Kesselringi, a purple one. So there's lots of ones. So you can see again the kind of material. Now I'm going to cut this low, and the key thing there is to leave the plant in good condition, of course, as normal, and make sure it's free from pests and diseases. But equally, we could have got some deutzia, we could have got some sambucus if we walk around a bit further. So we've got our material free from pests and diseases. We know what it is, Cornus stolonifera flavramea, and I'm looking for the nodes. So you can see there's a little tiny bud there, and there's a sort of a node by the side of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut flat below the node, because that's where the roots generally come from, the node. That's where the new cells come from. Put your secateurs down the side. Now unfortunately there's no node at 6 inches, because we're looking for pencil thickness roughly about 6 inches. However, the node is a bit higher. So what I do is just go to the next node. So I'm going to cut it at a slight angle, because on a dogwood you could put it upside down, just to show me that that's the top. And so what we're doing is we're just going to get kind of 6 hardwood cuttings like that. Now we're actually going to put them outside, but this is a little trick that we can do. So this is a little thing you can do, and if you haven't got somewhere to put them, or you haven't got pots, so they're going to go in the open ground. So I'm going to just put some compost in here, like this. Ooh, preferably not like that. I'll just get that out. So that's got to go quite firm again. So I've got 2 pieces. I've put 2 pieces, or 2 bits of lat, and then I'm going to fill the middle. Okay, just fill the middle like that. So this would be, if you haven't got any pots or anything like that, this is something you could do. And this was a kind of a Swedish idea that growers use, called the Nissula roll system. Okay, the Nissula roll system.
It's a little bit like a raised bed without it being raised in.
It's, yeah,
That's right. A controlled area, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. It's and what I'm going to do is to screed it off. So just keep that. You can nail these down actually, just to make a little bit better, to be honest. So I'm going to just screed that off a little bit, like that. I can push it over there. So that's got my little area ready now. So that's all nice and screeded. Okay, so that's that, and we'll just, and now I'll put all my cuttings 2/3. I'm going to place my cuttings there. That one's got the thing to the top. There we go. Mine's a bit of a mixture actually, but never mind, we'll put them in. So 2/3, put your hardwood cuttings like that. Just make sure they're the right way up. Okay, there we go. One there. I can space them a little bit more, just to give that extra.
So closest to you is that the flat cut, the bottom?
Yeah, I've gone the flat cut, and I've just checked the buds to make sure they're all the right way up. And here's what you do. So this is the bit. I'm just going to now imagine you're rolling up a big sleeping bag. Pull them in tight. Okay. And as you come to the cutting, just put your finger on the cutting and roll that in. Pull the cutting into the sort of sleeping bag, if you like, into the roll, and pull that in like that. And that then knocks the soil, the compost off the last bit, and just give that a little bit of a sweep. And then we pull it up nice and tight like that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of sellotape. Gaffer tape would be better, and then we'll try put that on there like that. Okay, we'll just do that, and then there we go. And what you've got then is you've got yourself a whole pile of pots, and a bit will come out, but you can bury that. Maybe push them in a bit more if you want to, if they're not quite 2/3, and you've got yourself several pots in one. Okay, that's the Nissula roll system. So that's hardwood cuttings. Obviously you could, in mine I've got a mixture, but you could label yours so they're all nice and labelled. You can see, because we were in the dark last night, we had to do that, but we're going to do the trench method. So what I'd like you to do now is to do your 6 cuttings. Once you've got them, we're going to bundle them together, and then we're going to go out and we're going to insert them into the ground. We're not going to use the Nissula roll, but I thought you might like to see it, just in case you want to have a go. Okay, we'll go all the way along, so it's going to be a little bit deeper than that, nearly about a spade, and then on this side a slight angle. Okay, and you go all the way down. As I say, I've got to go a bit deeper. That's a bit better. And what we'll do is I'll just take that out. That's a bit better. Getting to the depth now. So if I'll just kind of take that out.
This is where you find all your spring bulbs.
So what we're doing is we're taking a trench out here for our hardwood cuttings, and we need to make it about a spit deep. Okay, so I'm keeping it parallel to the fence here, so straight on this side, and then a slight angle on that side. We take out a trench, so it's got sort of straight down the back, a little bit of an angle this, and then we're going to put a little bit of sand in the bottom, and that's just to help with a little bit of drainage. Okay, we can just chop that in a little bit. Could go a little bit deeper. And if I just use we're going to insert our cuttings. Now, there's various ways you can do this. Some people bundle them in 50s with an elastic band around them, and they leave them till the spring just to get the roots to initiate. Then they line them out 6 inches apart in the nursery field or somewhere like this. But we can actually give them a little bit more. So I'm just going about 2/3 in. So some might be, in this case, a little bit smaller. So we're going to do that. And then once you've done that, you're going to backfill. Okay, obviously we do a whole trench, and you're going to firm it, because what you don't want is the frost to push them up. And every now and again you have to come back and check it. You'd expect these to start doing something about late spring, when they start to put the little shoots on. Okay, and then you know where you are. Or alternatively, as I say, you bundle them round about sort of March. You take the bundles apart and space them out at about 150 mil, 6 inches in lines, with a bit of sand in the bottom, okay, in the field.